Captured Greece took captive its wild victor, as the Roman poet Horace tells us. He meant that Rome was taken captive by the thought and intellectual achievements of the Greek nation, which Rome had conquered and was holding under its sway. Yet the Romans themselves also made their own distinctive mark on a broad spectrum of civilizations, beginning in the ancient world, spanning the medieval and Renaissance periods, and coming down to our own time. The vehicle of their influence is the Latin language that we continue to study in our classes at Wellesley High School. Learning Latin vocabulary and grammar enables us to meet the Romans on their own terms. In first and second year classes, through a story that has been designed for learners of Latin, and in third, fourth, and fifth year classes, through original works of Latin literature written by people who had no idea that we would be discussing their thoughts and feelings here in Wellesley. Nor would those writers have foreseen that their language and syntax would reveal to today's students the origins of so many of their own English words and help them understand the structure of their English sentences. Remote learning requires new approaches for everyone involved. In all classes, though, I ask students still to prepare and engage with the same degree of commitment that they have brought to their learning in traditional settings. I am going to present now an overview that includes descriptions of individual courses and at the same time seeks to establish the context of each one in the sequence of Latin studies. In Latin 1, we use the first book of the Oxford Latin course to learn in context Latin vocabulary and syntax by translating stories that present a fictional biography of that Roman poet Horace, who in the stories goes by Quintus, his first name. Students also write Latin sentences to demonstrate their control of grammatical forms and patterns that are introduced. Incorporated in the stories and presented in separate English readings are accounts of Roman life and culture with attention to historical developments, social conditions, mythology, and a narrative that is based on Latin literature. At the earliest stage of learning Latin, the question of what it means to be human comes to the fore, in whatever world people may find themselves. Latin 2 continues in the sequence of the Oxford series. Students develop further their knowledge of basic elements and learn more sophisticated forms of expression. The stories and English narratives describe additional aspects of Roman life, including political institutions, the circus games, marriage customs, and childbirth. And they also present an increasingly dramatic account of Roman history, as seen through the eyes of Quintus, with attention to the rise and fall of Julius Caesar and the end of the Roman Republic. Quintus soon makes his way to Greece, where he studies philosophy and decides to become a poet. This year in Latin 3, we have been reviewing translations and grammar that we took up last spring during remote learning, and using the third book of the Oxford course, we have also addressed several new concepts. We shall soon embark on our study of parts of books 1 and 2 of Virgil's epic Aeneid, a work that constantly evokes its Greek predecessors, especially Homer. Students will discuss the plot, themes, and characters of the narrative. Translations of verses, analysis of meter, and attention to the philosophic and poetic dimensions of the work will be undertaken both in and out of class. Latin 4 and 5 students in this year's Roman authors course are translating and discussing poems of Catullus, that embrace all manner of topics, including the passion of his love affair with Lesbia, his ridicule of a bad poet, his annoyance at the behavior of a boor who stole his napkin at a dinner party, and his sentiment on his departure from his comrades as they are all about to make their journeys home by different routes. We shall also translate the Proarchia of Cicero, the Roman orator who defended his mentor, the Greek poet Archias. He has been threatened with deportation on the charge that he has not fulfilled the requirements of citizenship. Later in the year, we shall also take up poems of Horace, the real-life adult Quintus, whom we met in our earlier courses. Students who continue beyond Latin 3 may choose between a second Roman authors course on translation of Ovid's poetry and Cicero's first oration against Catiline, in which the orator brings to light Catiline's plot against the Roman state. Alternatively, students may elect AP Latin and follow the syllabus that includes additional readings in the Aeneid and parts of Caesar's Gallic War. Whatever course in Latin students may be taking now or may choose to follow later, I encourage them to continue on their path, and I extend my best wishes to one and all.